Welcome to the Greene Turtle for Courtside with Coach Billy Hahn. I want to thank the Greene Turtle for letting me do this show here every Tuesday or Wednesday night, depending on when the Mountaineers play. And Mountaineers played last night. We'll get into that a little bit. From 6:30 to 7, I've got Nate Adrian, who played for the Mountaineers, coming on the show from 6:30 to 7. Knowing Nate, he might get here even a little bit early, so we can get him on the air as soon as he walks in. I also have another special guest tonight, my son Matthew Hahn, who coached college basketball for a number of years at different schools, and he also played at the University of Maryland. Some very good basketball teams there. So we'll have him mic'd up here too, the second half of the show. But again, thank the Greene Turtle, and you can watch this on DominionPost.com, which puts this on tomorrow or about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then you can go on and you can watch this show anytime you want. Have to give my shout-outs to the Dominion Post. They've been super with the advertising and taking care of putting advertising in the paper for this show every week and announcing my guests. So thanks to the Greene Turtle and thanks to the Dominion Post. And we'll get started now. It's been a crazy week. I was going over some statistics today on the Mountaineers. We'll start out with the Mountaineers first. I think they're glad and happy that February has come because in the month of January, they had a nice record of 1-8 in the month of January. They are 1-1 already in February. So they played 2 games in February. They've won as many games already in February as they did in the entire month in January. So I think they're glad to see February come on the calendar. This Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. Saturday, they got playing Oklahoma. They're playing Texas. Texas, 8 o'clock on Saturday. They come to town, and hopefully they can get their second win in February and see what we can do from there. Not a whole lot to talk about last night. It was a tough one to watch. Matter of fact, I talked to so many people today, and they said that they had to shut it off, that they couldn't even stand watching it anymore. That's how bad it was. But it's really hard to win a game in this Big 12 conference, especially on the road. And not only is it hard to win on the road in this league, but you can't win on the road anywhere by turning it over 26 times. So, hey, Matt, how you doing? I got Matt Hahn coming on right now, my son, who's going to join us. Yeah, that'd be great. Glad you can make it. So it's very, very hard to win anywhere when you turn the ball over 26 times. The other thing is that we couldn't score last night. We ended up with, I believe, it was 6 field goals for the entire game. And matter of fact, the 6th field goal last night at least gave us a chance not to have the lowest field goal of the season in Power 5 conferences, NC State.
Yeah, that was a brutal NC State game, huh?
How about that?
But I don't know what the censorship rules are at this place.
Go ahead.
But it appeared to me last night that the Mountaineers couldn't score if they ran into a women's prison with a fistful of pardons.
I love it, man. Yeah, the only way they could score last night was really Derek Culver going to the free throw line. Matter of fact, I think Derek Culver set a record last night for a number of attempts from the free throw line as a player in the history of West Virginia basketball.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I forget how many. I think he went
24 attempts,
24. Yeah, I think he went to the line 24 times. I think he made 17 maybe. All I know is he had a double again last night.
23 and 12.
Yeah, he had a double again last night. He's playing extremely well. Talented freshman who is going to get better and better and better as the year goes on, and he's already shown that so far. Brandon Napper had a great game prior to last night. So his Saturday game, when we beat Oklahoma on Saturday, he had a career high of 24 points and played extremely well. And I really thought the momentum of that game would carry over to last night at Texas Tech, but obviously it didn't. And I'll give Texas Tech a lot of credit, man. They really, I think they set the tone last night. And I thought they bullied us. I thought they outmanned us. I thought they out-toughed us. I thought from the very beginning they came out to establish that we are going to knock you around and we're going to be in your face and in your grill on every catch, and we're going to contest every shot, and we're going to be very physical, and that's what they did.
Yeah, they big boyed the Mountaineers.
Yeah, they big boyed us.
They big boyed the Mountaineers, and, I think they were a desperate team, even though their record, they're ranked, all those things. They're coming off an embarrassing, brutal loss, national TV at Kansas.
That's correct.
And I'm pretty sure Coach Beard let them know about that and turned it into World War III. And the Mountaineers are coming off an exhilarating win over Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Taste some success.
Yeah.
And then have to travel to Lubbock, Texas.
How about that?
And perfect storm for sure. It was a brutal deal.
I listened to Coach Beard's press conference after the game. I saw it on online today and watched that, so I'd be a little knowledgeable of what I was going to talk about tonight. And he said exactly what you just said, Matt. He challenged his team and said his team was he was disappointed how hard they played and how they played at Kansas. They got embarrassed at Kansas. And he talked about how tough everybody had to be for the Mountaineers game because Coach Huggins and his way of doing things is toughness and physical play. And he says we got to outmatch them from the get-go, from the tip-off, and that's what they did. He said that he was very proud of his team last night and thought his guys really came to play.
What was glaringly obvious to me on the telecast on TV was, I apologize, I forget the kid's name, but the white guard for Texas Tech, not the Italian kid.
Right,
The guard that's the transfer from South Dakota or whatever.
He bullied everybody.
He played the role of your Tariq Phillip, your Javon Carter.
Absolutely.
Just totally disruptive defensively.
Yes.
Out-physicaled everybody. I thought the guy, he didn't score a whole lot of points, but he dominated the game.
Dominated that game. I thought he was really, really, really good. So we couldn't score. We went for 23 minutes. I checked it out today. It was 15 and change in the first half, and it carried over to the second half. We go 23 minutes. 23 minutes, Matt, without scoring a field goal. 23 minutes. 15 minutes left in the first half, carried over to the second half, 7 more minutes, 8 minutes, 23 minutes without a field goal. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, who does that? We do.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no logical explanation for that. We actually started the game first 4 minutes. I thought we played well.
Yeah.
We ran some offense, and then
Yeah.
the wheels fell off.
Well, I thought they were in our grill all night long, and we had a very tough time. We had a tough time last night entering the ball in our offense. I mean, we had a tough time making a simple entry pass to start our offense last night. We had a very difficult time. And I give Texas Tech credit for that, but this is what's bothering me a little bit. All the message boards, Twitter accounts, Facebook, all the social media. I'm really tired of this. They're all saying Hugs needs to give it up. The Hugs is the fault. Hugs is over, is worn his welcome out. Hugs is too old. Hugs can't do this anymore. And I read that stuff and I'm going like, you gotta be absolutely kidding me.
That is laughable.
That's laughable.
That is laughable. I understand Mountaineer Nation is frustrated and it's some difficult times, but you have a Hall of Fame coach here. And how quickly they forget that 3 out of the last 4 years we've been in the Big 12 championship game and Sweet 16. And the teams we've lost to in the Sweet 16 have a combined record of 104-5.
How about that?
So, I mean, we've had phenomenal run for WVU basketball. And give Hugs some time. I bet it'll be corrected.
I just know this. I really get upset watching this. People talk about him. Really bothers me because there's not a guy that cares more about West Virginia. No one cares more than Bob Huggins. And nobody takes losses, as long as I've coached, harder than Bob Huggins takes a loss. I mean, we all hate to lose. Hated to lose when I was a coach. Gary Williams hated to lose at Maryland. I worked for, you played for. But it's unbelievable how Huggy Bear.
When I watch the games in the press conferences, I'm like worried about him.
Yeah.
It's killing him.
It is killing him.
They're killing him, man. He's red.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. I mean, I'm worried about my man Hugs.
He ain't real good, man. I think, which they all needed to do. So the game ended last night. And the team flew back. But the coaching staff, all of them stayed out on the road to recruit.
Well, you're out there in Lubbock, Texas, which put you out there by the Texas JUCOs.
Yeah, that's exactly where they went.
We could use some maturity, some edge, and some physicality. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but Tariq Phillip and Jay Sean Page, those type of guys, they were JUCO All-Stars.
Yep.
And so it's probably good they stayed out on the road.
So they're all out there, and I hope they're doing good. All I know is Bob Huggins has said he's going to fix this. When Hugs says he's going to fix it, he'll fix it. Now I suggest that everybody gets a new program next year, because I think there's going to be 3, possibly 4 players on our roster right now that will not be around next year.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
I will be very interested to see who they are and what changes are made. What year was that? The 12-13 season when they won 13 or 14 games. I think they got rid of 3 guys that year, right? It was Harris, Henderson, and Remy Debo. I think all 3 of those people left the program, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that same kind of roster turnover.
Hugs always had he's told me a couple of times, when the house gets dirty, you got to clean the house. So I think he feels the house is a little dirty right now. How about this last night? How about this one? I've never seen this happen. Logan Rout, not to single out Logan Rout because he's the greatest guy in the world, but this is all across social media to do today. And that was the lead-in last night for SportsCenter. SportsCenter said, the only way the Mountaineers will be on SportsCenter this year is this. And they show Logan Rout. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was sort of weird. I think the guy fell back into him, and he sort of crossed his legs.
Look, I watched it like 4 times.
He didn't really trip the guy, did he?
He did trip. He tripped the guy, but the guy
ended up tripping.
The guy stepped on his foot.
I know. And
so when a guy steps on your foot, it's almost natural to like lean back.
Yeah.
Then his leg's up by his crotch area, so I think you kind of close it up so you don't get racked.
Exactly, I got you.
And it just looked funny. I don't think it was ill-intentional.
It's not like he stuck his foot out when the guy was leaving and stuck his foot out. and tripped the guy.
No, he clamped on me.
Exactly.
He didn't give him the Grayson Allen Duke
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly.
He just hung him up a little bit.
Exactly. So
I wasn't upset about that.
he gets a technical foul, gets thrown out of the game, sent to the locker room, which even created more chaos by the home crowd. And meanwhile, that home crowd, those idiot students at Texas Tech who were under the basket when we're shooting free throws, and they all got their trench coats on, and they're opened up their trench coats, and they got Speedos on, and they got a picture of Bob Huggins' head.
Nobody wants to see that on national
Oh, my
TV.
God, it was terrible.
Thank God it was a late game and the kids weren't up, you know?
I tell you, but, man, that was disgusting.
It was disgusting.
But I ain't going to lie to him. I thought it was sort of funny.
Well,
I give a little credit for coming up with something pretty funny.
well, I guess.
I
but
think
nobody wants to see that, man.
I hear you.
Banana hammock.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about coming up here on Saturday.
Hold on.
Okay,
So we talked about Logan Rout.
Logan Rout, go ahead.
How about they said Napper said something to an official.
Yeah,
I watched the replay.
he never said nothing. He just
He
stared
just
the guy down.
Stared at him.
Exactly.
Now if that's not an egotistical technical foul by a guy that's got a
Who called that on him?
Ray Natili, who actually out of the three refs that were on the game is probably the best guy.
Ray Natili. Yeah,
Because
Good
we had Kip Kissinger,
yeah.
and who was the third guy last night?
Brother.
No, Jerry Pollard.
Oh, Jerry Pollard. That's right. Jerry Pollard, Kip Kissinger, who I think hates Bob Huggins, Kip Kissinger, and I know that I don't like Kip Kissinger. The guy drives me crazy. About 6 years ago, I believe he was a high school referee in the state of Illinois.
But he does a lot of curls, so that
Yeah,
must mean he can officiate.
I got you. Yeah, I hear you.
I'd like to catch him in the street.
I hear you. All right, well, before we get into this weekend, I want to talk about something that was non-basketball related,
Okay.
and that was the god-awful Super Bowl that we watched on Sunday, and all the hype of the Super Bowl this, Super Bowl this, Super Bowl this. I fell asleep.
Man,
I fell asleep.
I thought you were old school, man. I'm disappointed that you didn't appreciate that defensive struggle
Yeah,
and
right.
the game plan that the Patriots came up with to slow that offense down.
When it was all over, I did appreciate Brady, Tom Brady, and I did appreciate Belichick for having a game plan, I guess. But God, it was tough to watch. I thought I was watching another game of the Mountaineers. I mean, Mountaineers are hard to watch. I'll tell you what, that Super Bowl was hard to watch the other night too. Gosh, it was boring.
I think the Rams punted 6 consecutive times.
Is that what it was?
So I'd rather watch the Rams punt
Yeah.
than the Mountaineers turn it over 26.
I saw somebody on social media today said that it's about time that punters should be starting to think about punters being the MVP of the Super Bowl after the event the other night.
I'll tell you
Because
what.
that guy he said he punted 6 times and did a pretty good job.
Special teams. That
Special
was
teams,
big,
right?
man.
Exactly. But the little guy, the little wide receiver, he gets MVP.
Edelman.
Edelman.
Right.
You know where he went to school?
Kent State.
Kansas State.
Kansas State.
He
I
went
thought it
to
was Kent
Kansas
State.
State.
Kansas
Matter
State.
of fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was a classmate with Josh Eilert, who's on our basketball staff at WVU now,
No kidding.
who was a walk-on basketball player at Kent State. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Josh and Edelman know each other, and there was some kind of interaction between the two of them.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I'll tell you what, he ain't very big, that guy.
No, and you know he was not a wide receiver.
I did not know that.
He was a dual threat quarterback in college.
That I did not know, really. I did not know that.
And he was not invited to the NFL Combine.
Right?
And he was like a 7th-round draft pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it can happen to anybody. But I know one thing. He sure looks like he could win the Mountaineer mascot contest.
He does. He does.
I mean, he had a great.
Hey, they put rule restrictions on that. You can only be the Mountaineer for a year now, huh?
That's what I heard.
Term limits.
What's up with that?
I don't know. They need to apply that to the government.
Good point.
Yeah.
Speaking of government, totally off the subject as well. Your lovely mother and I, we went to Charleston last week, and we were at the legislation. We were at the State House, and we were on the Senate side and the legislative side, and they acknowledged the American Cancer Society
Okay.
on the floor, and we all went out there, the American Cancer Society people, and your mom and I went out there on the floor, and they recognized us, and they gave us this, they gave the American Cancer Society a citation or a notice or a, what are those called, Kathy?
I don't know. A citation, that sounds like a negative
not
thing.
a citation, but
An award?
decoration or whatever. I don't know what it's
Okay.
called. There's a name for it. I graduated from Maryland. I don't know. But anyway, we had a great time. And I want to thank the American Cancer Society. And the night before, there was a basketball game between the Republicans versus the Democrats of West Virginia.
Who won?
Republicans won by 21 points.
Wow.
They asked me which side I wanted to coach, and the Democrats had about 16 players, and we had 7 or 8. I think we had 8.
A little bit easier to manage the
So,
minutes,
yeah,
huh?
so I
Okay.
said I want the Republicans because there's only 8 players. I had to worry about getting everybody in. Democrats had 16, maybe more than that.
Wow.
So they were running people in it all night long.
Who coached the other team?
The assistant coach from Marshall University,
Okay.
who was there representing the American Cancer Society as well, because I believe his daughter had some kind of cancer, and she battled cancer. The daughter's fine, I think. She continues to be all right. But he coached the other team. So
WVU beat Marshall again.
exactly,
Okay.
WVU beat Marshall again. Yes,
All right. Makes sense.
that was pretty good. It was real good. They acknowledged Mom. She was sitting in the stands. And speaking of your mother, tomorrow is a pretty special day for her, right?
Sure is. That is the 10th.
10.
10th, we'll call it her second birthday because 10 years ago tomorrow, she had a bone marrow transplant. She's been cancer-free since, so
God bless you, Kathy.
good job,
hon.
Mom.
Yeah,
Yay.
Kathy on. All right.
Love you.
Love you, hon. So, since that is all said and done, let's go a little bit on. Let's go a little bit on Saturday's game.
Okay.
The Texas Longhorns
Right.
are rolling into town for Saturday night game at 8 o'clock, which I think makes it better. I think the Coliseum would be rocking 8 o'clock at night. I mean, the students and everybody, I'm sure, will have a few cocktails before they come into the game.
I hope so.
And we will continue this. Take a break right now because I see my man Nathan Adrian getting ready to come in here. So we'll take a break and we'll mic up Nate and we'll continue after this short break. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to start the second half hour of our show. And thank you, Nathan Adrian, for coming and being my guest. Yay! Don't have a whole lot to talk about last night, do
No,
we?
we don't do it
Where'd you watch the game?
in my living room.
Did you make it through?
Yeah.
I fell
turned it off
I ain't lying
towards
to
the
you.
end.
I ain't lying to you.
There was nothing to watch.
I ain't lying to you. I fell asleep.
There was nothing to watch.
How bad was it?
9 field goals bad.
They went 23 minutes. 23 minutes.
It's hard to do.
23 minutes without a basket.
It's hard to do.
Unbelievable.
Somebody should be able to
All
throw
right,
it
so
in.
we're gonna move on. Forget about that one. It's over. Let's talk about Saturday coming up. Texas Longhorns roll in Saturday night, 8 o'clock. I might be wrong, but 8 o'clock games in the Coliseum on a Saturday night, that place should be rocking, correct?
Should be. I don't know. We'll see how people respond after that game.
Well, I think they will, because I think they'll start drinking.
Yeah. I mean, people
I think,
still want to come watch.
I think the Mountaineer way that there'll be a few cocktails before people arrive on Saturday. That's just a guess. So, do you know anything about Texas?
Somewhat.
Tell me what you think.
They got pretty good guards. They got some veteran guards. They're coming in. They should be pretty good.
Right.
That Jackson Hayes kid's pretty good.
Right.
They're freshman big man, but they're known to play a little sloppy too.
Yep.
So it could be a bit of an ugly game, but
Right.
as long as we win, that'll be okay.
I think the case of most games, for us especially, we can't turn the ball over.
We
And
don't
number
do
two,
good at that.
we gotta keep rebounding the basketball, which I thought we've done a pretty good job.
We have.
The last few games. We gotta crash the glass. We gotta get second shot opportunities. We couldn't even enter the ball last night very well.
Coach.
Our entry
9 field goals.
Our entry passes last night, we couldn't even. They were in our grill. Our entry passes were bad
This is
last
the
night.
worst passing team you've ever seen, isn't it?
Yes.
Has to be.
Worst passing team I've ever seen in my 40 years of coaching. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just some of the plays, some of the passes I'm going like, how can they even do that? Huggy Bear had his press conference last night. He mentioned somebody he said, who could two-hand chest pass a pass through 3 different people? Crazy, crazy, crazy. If we can do those things Saturday, don't turn it over, rebound the ball, make free throws.
Make free throws.
Make free throws. I think we'll have another win. And I was saying earlier, February is better than January. You know
Why's
what our
that?
record was in January?
2-7?
How about 1?
Not 1.
1-7.
Oh, I guess Saturday, February.
Saturday
Okay.
was February. So we've already got
We're 1-1 so far. then.
we're 1-1 in February. We're so happy to see February. It's Valentine's Day. I mean, are you kidding me? A lot of good things happen in February. We've already got the same amount of wins in February. I hope Hugs doesn't watch this show, do you?
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either, thank God. But I'll tell you this. You almost have to laugh so you don't cry.
I mean, I don't know what
I
else
was
you're going
talking
to
to
do.
my
You can't
son.
beat
I was
yourself
talking
up
to my-
about it so
I was
much.
talking to my son earlier, Nate. And I probably should stay off social media. But I tell you what, I'm so tired of people saying that Bob Huggins is getting too old, that Bob Huggins can't coach anymore. You played for the guy. You tell me what you think. Tell me a
No,
little
I
bit
think
about
that's ridiculous. You didn't say the last 4 or 5 years whenever we were good. It's just whenever.
Yeah, we were pretty good, weren't we?
Yeah, whenever things go bad, people just want to point fingers at one person whenever that's not the case. It's a collection of a lot of things, and we just got stuck with a group that can't seem to figure it out together.
Here's my question. Do you think Saturday that we'll see Beetle or Sags?
No.
You don't think we'll see either one of them?
Uh-uh.
I think we're going to see one of them. Or
Which
two
one?
Of them. I don't know. I think it's going to be Sags.
Maybe.
I think it's going to be Sags. I really do. Now, will Hugs start him? Hell no. Hugs will never start that guy.
Well, I'd hope not.
But I don't think, and I don't think Hugs will play him hardly at all until he really feels like he has to.
I mean, at what point do you feel like you have to when you're 10-13?
Good point.
What are you winning for now?
Good point. Yeah, what are you going to wait for?
Get to 500?
At least it protects the rim.
Yeah.
Well, if we go on a roll in February, can you get an NIT bid? Yes. You can. What's our
How?
record right now?
10-13
10-13? All right.
with
So how many games we got in February left?
8.
6 games left in February?
Yeah.
6 in February, right?
Yep.
So if we get those 6 wins in February,
Yeah, sure. If we win all 6, then yeah, we can make it NIT.
hell, they might give us an NCAA bid if we can win 6 in a row. But here's what's even crazier. Here's what's even crazier. Believe it or not, you got a chance to win the Big 12 tournament. You win that.
Absolutely. Anybody has a chance to win this
and
year.
you win that tournament, guess what? You win that tournament. Do you think Sags? Oh, this is for Nate.
That's
Got
for
someone
me.
from the audience writing a question. Do you think Sags single-handedly sabotaged the season? That's the question. Now you got to answer it. You're not going to answer that?
I mean, sabotage, I don't think he intentionally
You don't think he intentionally?
wanted us to be bad,
Right?
but he sure didn't help much.
Oh my God! I'm going to tell you right now. I'll say it because I can say it. He crushed our season. He is the reason why we are struggling, and we've struggled the way we have. I'm sorry. That Pitt game, that his last game that he played. See, earlier in the season, he was out of character. He was shooting threes, forgot what got him to where he was, forgot how he blocked shots, how he played inside. He was a change player, and then he changed the Pitt game. For the first game, the Pitt game, he looked like the old Sags, blocking shots, scoring the ball inside. Totally knew his role. And then he plays that game, and then he doesn't play ever again. Now, all I've seen everybody do against us is drive the ball to the rim. And they all drive the ball to the rim, and they take it to the basket because there's nobody back there that can block shots anymore. And Derek Culver is a very good player, and he's going to be extremely good, but he's not a shot blocker.
No, not yet.
Not yet, right?
Uh-uh.
I don't think he's a shot. I don't think he's a shot blocker at all. To be honest with you, I think Andrew Gorton is a better shot blocker than Derek Culver right
I'd say
now.
so.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to single guys out, but I keep doing it. I can't understand, Nate. I don't understand where LaRon. What? No, it's not LaRon Prophet, is it?
The what?
I'm thinking about my man West.
Lamont?
Lamont West.
Yeah.
Lamont West. Where is he? Where's the guy at? Where's Lamont West? What's happened? Tell me.
You tell me he said 6 games with over 20 points and 10 games was less than 10. Or less than 5. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second. You're telling me he's had 6 games over 20?
Yes. And I think 6 or 7 under 5.
6 or 7 under 5. Is that consistently good or consistently bad? A little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both, I'd say. It's consistently inconsistent. And
I don't understand why he thinks he's got to put the ball on the floor. I think he's a pretty good catch and shoot guy. But I think he gets himself in trouble when he tries to bounce it. Bob Huggins tells everybody on the team, including you when he coached you, do what you could do.
That's right, and that's a big reason why we were where we are, because guys are trying to do things that they can't do to the best of their abilities. If you want to be successful, you got to do what you're good at. And if everybody does what they're good at, that's the point of having a whole team. Everybody brings something to the table. And when you try to do something that you're not necessarily good at, something bad's going to happen, like it generally does when Lamont dribbles or Issa passes or
I want to tell you
a
now,
plethora of things.
it doesn't stop, man, when that pass the ball, man.
26 turnovers.
I mean, that's unbelievable. 26 turnovers. Against basically, there was no full court press.
No, it's half court.
Half court.
They were playing hard. They were getting in our face, but it's
They were in
still
they were on our grill on every catch,
nothing
and they
to
made it extremely hard to enter the ball.
warrant 26 turnovers.
Unbelievable. I predict a win Saturday night. I'm going on the limb. I'm going to go. We will get our second win in February, and we will win Saturday night. And obviously, every game in the Big 12 is a tough game. It'll be close. Let me ask you this. Saturday night, will the Mountaineers be favored?
No,
Will they be underdogs?
we'll be underdogs every game for the rest of the season.
So we will never have the spread in our favor again.
No,
3 or 4 point underdogs? 6? You're going with the number 6?
I'm going with 6 for Saturday.
You're going with 6?
Yeah,
Well, I would bet the under. Whatever, I don't know what it's going to be.
no matter what.
No matter what, I'd bet the under because we sure as hell can't score. That's for damn sure. So you might as well bet the under. Kansas versus Kansas State tonight
That'll
on
be a
TV.
good game. It's
On
in
TV.
Manhattan, right?
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock on ESPN tonight. Kansas State at home versus the Jayhawks.
You know that place will be a little bit rowdy.
Yeah, that place will be rowdy tonight in Manhattan, Kansas. Tough place to play, isn't it?
Yeah, when everybody's there, it's a tough
Yep.
place to play. We got lucky a couple times and played
yeah.
them when they were on break.
I saw somewhere today that the senior class at Kansas State has not beaten the Kansas
yet.
Jayhawks.
Nope.
So my headset keeps falling off. So I think the seniors will be fired up for them tonight. I think you will agree with me that Kansas is not the same Kansas team of the past.
I don't think it's even close.
I don't think they're going to win it this year.
Nope.
I think their streak is going to end.
I think Iowa State has the best chance right now.
You think Iowa State? That's
Yeah.
who you're going with?
If I had to pick right now,
I'll tell you who's playing really good. It's Baylor.
Baylor is. Yep.
I don't know how they're doing it. How are they doing it?
They all bought into something Scott Drew told them, and
Good. That's a good point. Why don't guys buy in?
I think they know more than a coach for some reason.
I just can never understand why guys don't buy in. I mean, they're playing for a Hall of Fame coach. The guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yep. You don't know more than him.
He's got the third most wins of active coaches behind Krzyzewski, Boeheim, Syracuse. Bob Huggins is number 3. And they won't buy into Bob Huggins? Why? What's going on? What's going on with that?
I can't even fathom doing that. I bought it as soon as I got here. Our whole team did. It's whatever he told us to do, we did. So I can't really understand why, as a player, you would come in and think that doing something your own way is going to make you successful.
Well, we haven't bought in.
No, we're not going. I mean, they're not going to. There's nothing that you can do at this point in
Will
a
that
season.
change now? You don't think that'll change this year?
No.
I'm gonna ask you this. If you had to guess, how many players on this year's roster? Now, I know Issa's the only senior. Issa will not be here because he's graduating. What's your guess, in your mind, not mentioning names, how many more do you think are not going to be here?
Are not going to be here?
Yeah. On our roster, don't name. I don't want names because I know who I think is going to be gone. But
7?
You think a total of 7 will be gone?
I think 5 will be back.
You think 5 will be back? You think 7 will be gone? Do you really? See, I think 3 or 4. You
It
think 7?
doesn't get you very far getting rid of 3.
Good point.
And you still got, what, 10 attitudes in the locker room that obviously didn't work out?
But I don't think we got 10 attitudes in the locker room, Nate. I think we got 4.
I think there's a few.
You think there's more than 4?
I think there's a few.
You think there's more than 4, Nate? Do
Yeah.
you really? You know these guys better than I do. I know one thing. They sure looked like they were arguing last night a lot last night.
And I also think not the majority, but a few of those 7 will want to leave on their own. I think there's some guys that have realized that this isn't exactly right for them.
Yeah, they're not made to coach.
No.
They're not made to play for
No.
Coach Huggins.
They just need to realize that and move on. It'll be better for everybody if you go play somewhere where you're going to be happy and successful.
People don't realize how hard it is. How hard it is to be a player at West Virginia University.
No.
Year round. Strength and conditioning program starts with that. Then you get hugs. And the demands you have for that are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's the hard part. They try to make it as difficult as they can throughout the summer, lifting and conditioning and all that. But as soon as you get into 3-hour practices with hugs, it's a whole different demon, and it takes a while to get used to. And I really didn't get used to it until probably halfway through probably the start of my junior year. You start to get in a rhythm, you realize what you need to do, and it goes a little smoother.
Now that I think about this, you're probably right. It's probably, you say 7. Probably right, because I think there are some players on the team that are probably going to say, you know what? I might as well go somewhere else where I can play.
Especially because you have 5 individuals graduating who can leave and not have to sit out.
Say that again?
There are 5 people graduating.
We got 5 graduating? Who's graduating?
Issa graduates.
Issa graduates?
Lamont graduates.
Lamont?
Beetle graduates. West graduates. Logan graduates.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Chase Harler?
Chase graduates.
So that's a bunch of guys graduating. So all those guys can go somewhere and
not
play,
have to sit out.
play immediately, right?
Yep.
Not have to sit out. These headphones are driving me nuts, by the way.
Come here.
Fix me, will you? Why can't I do this? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm a rookie with the headsets, I guess. Thanks, Nate.
No problem.
Hey,
That's what I'm here for.
Meanwhile, tell me what about the ACC network. Did you make that call?
I called him. I got to call him tomorrow again. I left him a voicemail. I haven't heard from him, so I'll give him a call tomorrow again.
I really need to
We'll
know
see what
that.
happens. Yeah, I'll call him. I'll give you a call tomorrow. Let him know what he says.
The ACC conference, basketball-wise, well, the whole conference. They have the Big Ten network you have, and the Big Ten, Pac-10 network, and
Pac-12.
Pac-12, SEC. SEC has their own network. Well, the ACC's going that, right? And we're trying to help Nate get a position there.
Wouldn't hate it.
My guy.
Called a women's game the other night.
How'd that go?
Went good.
We win?
Yeah, beat Kansas by 21.
Is that right?
They're playing with 8 players.
How many wins they got?
They've won 7 of the last 8.
They're going to get a bid, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They're pretty good.
They're pretty good?
They have 8 players.
8 players.
8. It's tough to do.
Maybe that's what we need to do.
Have 8 players.
Maybe if we had 8 players, that shortens our bench. You have no option to play anybody else. You're stuck with those guys.
Need to figure
think about
something out.
that. Think about that. Would they have anybody at those games?
There was actually a good bit of people there. Yeah.
What was that? What was that on?
AT&T.
On AT&T?
Yeah.
Who does play-by-play on that?
That was Robbie Igzmakowski.
Oh, Robbie does the play-by-play? And you do the color, huh?
Just for that game.
Just for that game?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Meg Bulger usually
Did you
does
like
it.
it?
Yeah, I liked it. I like any time I can talk about basketball.
Meg
Meg.
Bulger?
Meg Bulger usually does the
What was
games.
his brother's name?
Mark.
Mark. You see, he's trying to make an Olympic. What's that called?
Javelin?
No. What is it? Curling.
Is he really?
Yes. He's got him and 3 other former NFL players
It looks like a pretty good time.
have decided to get in shape for this.
I don't know how much shape you have to be in.
Yeah,
but
but you do when you look at it.
yeah. It looks like a good time.
So they are trying to get accepted by the Olympic Committee to represent the United States in the Olympics.
well, our last curling
they-
team won the gold.
We did?
Yeah.
Well, they've already been to several pre-Olympic curling venues and sites, and they've done extremely well.
Really.
Wouldn't that be something? Think about
I'm gonna
that.
have to look this up.
Yeah, look it up. Bulger and 3 other former NFL players are talking about going to the Olympics and doing curling. That's pretty cool. What time we got out there?
54.
54. My wife I told her to give me the 10 minute, I told her to give me the high five for the 10-minute mark. She sort of flunked her test. The question
That's-
out there
that's
is
fair.
this. The question is that Fran Fraschilla, who does a lot of our games, he says we are a tuxedo team, that we look like we play in a tuxedo. I guess.
It's tough to argue with. There's not much.
So you usually wear a tuxedo, like a low-key, nice event type thing? There's not too many hard hats being worn out there, is there?
I don't think so. Not many people putting their bodies on the line. It seems
Pretty
like.
bad, isn't it? Huh?
Not exactly what I'm used to.
So we got Saturday, Texas at home, and then when do we play again? We got a week off, don't we?
Week off. Not until next Saturday.
We got a week off to get ready for Kansas.
Yeah, I think we go to Kansas that
At
weekend.
Kansas on the following Saturday. So we got a full week off, which gives Beetle and Sags even more opportunity to get healthy.
That'll probably be the game that they're going to look to try to get Beetle back.
Absolutely. I think that's a good way to do it. So we will be back next Wednesday night here at the Greene Turtle, courtside with Coach Billy Hahn, and I will have announced my next guest for next week's show. Watch the papers, all the advertising that the Dominion Post does. They gave you a nice little spread tonight. Did you see it?
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see it.
Oh, man.
What'd it say?
Said Nate Adrian, man. Superstar Nate Adrian.
Ah,
Morgantown favorite. WVU favorite. So next week I'm probably going to try to get, Coach Harrison has the scout on Kansas, correct?
yep.
I'm going to try to get Larry Harrison here. Hopefully he's not out recruiting. That'll be on Wednesday. He probably will be ready. He'll probably be back here, huh?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Tuesday, all right, my bad. Next Tuesday. My bad again, Tuesday. When you get 65 years old, your mind goes a little crazy, Nate. Just yeah, I hear you. Look at my sons, yeah. All right. See you next Tuesday in here at the Greene Turtle. Thanks for coming out. Love you, Mountaineers. And you know what? Prediction. Mountaineers will win Saturday night, 8 o'clock in the Coliseum. Be there or be square. Later.